Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Direwolf 1.19. Now, we have a lot on the menu today, boys. Yes, we do. And we want to finish that guy over there. Just make some more automations inside of there to process all of our ores. I also hooked us up with a hardened reactor. Like, it's not the best, but it's giving us some power. So it's not entirely useless, and is actually using some of our uranite, coal, redstone blocks, and I have them all being exported into it from just the art system directly. I just need to pay attention so we don't run out of like coal blocks and stuff like that, so this guy doesn't overheat. You may also notice I have some new tools. Yes, I made myself a pretty great sword. I would say this is the sniper sword, which is made with the end sword and the staff of the sniper together. The end sword is made with end copper ingots, and these tools are unbreakable. They will never break. And the sniper sword is pretty cool because you can, well, right click and it shoots an arrow, and it does massive tons of damage. And then I just put it through the apotheosis machinery, or enchantment, or reforging. I guess you can call it reforging, with some legendary stats, and boom, here we go. We have this amazing sword which does tons and tons of damage. Then I enchanted it and I got smite and disarming, so it's okay. And capturing is probably cool because there's a chance that we can get some mob spawn eggs that can be pretty fancy. And of course we also have our Paxel. I also made a Paxel with hand pickaxe and shovel and hand axe. This is basically just go to the nether, get the nether copper ore, and then you just go to the end and get the end copper ore, and then just craft it together, because this is pretty easy. Of course you need chorus flower. It was a little bit hard to find. You need to find some beehives. It's kind of a beehive which has some, and then I just used some phytogenic insulator to just get more. And of course you need the nether copper one, which needs netherite scrap, but netherite scrap is quite easy to find. I also went ahead and started to preparate the area so we can actually pull it up a little bit using the help with the builder to set up our decent circle over here. And as you can see, we move those guys over there. Yes, I had it here, the thermal evaporation plant, and I had to move it over there just so we can have more. And there's also a little bit of an extra. Yeah, I made it bigger. I made a second one. I put some 4 aqueous accumulators and a pump, and that is still not enough. It's still not enough because the aqueous accumulators only have this. They do not have the other 2 components. Or I guess I could just do more pumps as well. Like, we could probably just switch this all out for more electric pumps using our system, but that would cost a lot of power. And speaking of power, I used all my solar panels over here. They're feeding directly into the system over here. I guess you can check onto the graphs. Yeah, we're not using that much power right now, because I think the chunk loader, the digital miner is stopped. Which brings us to the next step. We have all of these beautiful ores, and I want to automate them. Yes, I do want to automate them. There's a little bit of an issue though. We have some of those that we can get 5 times the ore, right? By using this setup over here. We just toss them into the chemical dissolution chamber over here, and then it just gets processed, cooked up, and boom, ends up right over there. But the issue is, this is our way of getting sulfur, which is, well, not good. Really not good, because you can see we only have like six buckets of sulfur dioxide, and this guy has no sulfur. These guys are not processing anything because we do not have anything like related to sulfur. We check here. Yeah, we have 0 sulfur in our system, so we need to get like this ASAP. So like, this needs to be sorted. Oh yeah, I want to get us started with some things over here. You might be wondering, well, what is this? Well, this is going to be our enchanting setup, which I want to upgrade to have all of these maxed out on Eterna, Quanta, and Arcana. But to do that, there's a little bit of a grind behind it, so we gotta get that sorted. But we also are playing around with a little bit of spirit. Yes, if you take a look here, if we go onto the mod spirit, this is actually going to allow us to make some pretty potent mob farms, and you'll see why. The only issue here, I even made the soul steel sword, which is this one, and then I enchanted it. We got sharpness 3, like nothing too major out of this, because this guy gives us extra souls on kill. Ideally we'll also get Soul Reaper to get 1 additional soul per level of enchantment. So this is Soul Reaper 7, so we'd get 7 more souls. So using this sword plus Soul Reaper 7 would be amazing. And why do you need these souls? These souls go into the soul crystals themselves, which have like some sort of recipe, and be aware some of these recipes actually consume your blocks, so you got to pay attention to that. And this guy needs a crude soul crystal, which needs all of these bad boys over here. It needs the soul crystal, which needs this, and you need the soul powder. Luckily the soul powder is just some glowstone tossed into, well, fire, some blue fire. So this guy, and this is for slate production. So if you go ahead and grab, I think it's deep slate. Yeah, so if you just grab like a little bit of a deep slate, we toss it over there, this will give us some slates. These slates can be used for decoration if you want to, which I'm probably going to use a little bit for decoration, but they also come in help to do some of these amazing blocks right here, which is the soul pedestal, the crystal pedestal, and the pedestal, like the normal pedestal. Of course, and then just go over there and boom, you got these blocks. And how do you do this? Well, first of all, you need to get these crystals, and then you want to start killing mobs with these crystals on you. Not in your backpack, they need to be in your inventory. And I've been trying to farm some wither skeletons so we can automate, hopefully, skulls and coal as well, I guess. You know, coal's kind of good because we're using it on the reactor, so infinite coal source is okay. Then ghasts, just because ghast tier is also kind of okay. And this one I mistakenly killed the piglin, so yeah, I kind of want to wipe this one clean. And after you have this, you have 2 options. You can pop this guy into a soul cage, but it needs a minimum of 64 kills. You can see it even tells you it needs more souls for a cage or a revitalizer. It needs a minimum of 42 more kills, which is 64, in order to work as a tier 1 crystal. It can go up to a tier 4 or a tier ultimate, which needs 512 souls, but then it just becomes super fast. But there's also this mod, Vitalize. Vitalize can use a soul revitalizer, which you can craft, and let's just say this soul revitalizer is kind of insane, because it basically allows you to not have the mobs being killed. You don't have the mobs spawning into the world, you don't have the mobs being killed, you just have the souls being like produced, I guess you can call it that, and then you can boost it up with efficiency for like power usage and stuff like that, beheading, looting, speed, experience, flame, recursive, and I think there's one more. Oh yeah, it's just this one, the normal pylon. Yeah, and like if you don't want to do all of these, you can just use like a basic pylon, which even a basic pylon requires some crafting, of course. But why do you want this? Well, you don't have to kill the mobs, so you don't need a fully setup system. And since you're living out here in the mining dimension right now, we don't really have ways of spawning mobs. I don't even think the wither can spawn here, because mob spawning is turned off entirely over here, and I couldn't get nothing to spawn here. So maybe this is a way to counteract that. But I did make a mob farm over here using some dreadful dirt. I don't know if you guys can see inside of there. And this guy is actually just getting tons and tons of EXP. I removed the tank because I didn't want this guy to pick up EXP. Well, because I want this guy to be picking up my EXP, because he has 46 levels inside of him, which is pretty good, so we can use him for enchanting stuff. And yeah, we have all the loot here. I probably need to bring some void upgrades for some of these things, but and then there's like some small issues. I don't understand why gunpowder is not like stacking the same as with the eyes. And you might think, well, you can just go over there and right click them. Yeah, but for example, this gunpowder was not going in there and this guy was not going in there. Yeah, because for some reason I think different mobs dropped them and they have different like entities and stuff like that. I don't know, but they just sometimes they do not really they do not like to go in the same spot. And now we're back from a pretty successful stream, I might say, and we added some automation over here to, well, get some of our ores out of the way, mainly copper, something like zinc, aluminum, nickel, and even some silver. And we also have some processing over here for, well, I don't need that, by the way, some processing over here for our diamonds. They're also being processed through this system right here. And we have tons of experience. You can see we have 125, 126. Yeah, we have a bunch of EXP. I was just like a better way of taking this experience out of here, because doing it by hand, well, it's kind of painful. And basically this setup is using wireless transceiver. So I'm actually receiving the network here, and then I'm actually putting the ores into these chests. We have 2 capacity cards, so we have like bauxite, silver, zinc, copper, and nickel here, and then here we have the rest of the copper and the diamonds. We can put other items to go into here if we think we need them, and then they will just get sorted into here. And this is all connected with some storage buses over here to our system. There we go, like it is. And now we have access to, well, everything from the go, which is pretty handy. Now over on the rest of these platforms, there's some more automation I want to do, but that can probably wait a little bit. That's because we are back over here at this area. I want to automate some things from here, and I want to automate this area right here. I have all the ores I want to automate, something like all the ores that can be turned into slurry with this, the chemical dissolution chamber. But I ran into a little bit of an issue. You see, I wanted this machine to have a constant flow of sulfur dust, so this guy to have a constant flow of sulfur right here. But that means that we need to find ways of producing sulfur. One of the ways we have to produce sulfur is through gunpowder, using the chemical injection chamber with hydrogen chloride, which we are producing, you know, we're producing right over here. But if we are to actually do that while running this, we would run out of this. Yeah, we'd most likely run out of hydrogen chloride, because we probably need another chemical infuser, and then we need probably another electrolytic separator. Just this whole area is just, it's becoming a little bit of a mess. I cleaned it up a little bit, and it's still, well, a little bit of a mess, as you guys can see. But that's what we're gonna hopefully work on right now. Now let's start processing through some of these materials right here. So redstone and lapis and coal will be processed by this guy, and I have him at full throttle. I mean, I can still give it 2 speed upgrades. Probably I will. And he's dealing with all of these items. They'll get processed, get put into here, which is good, because then we have access to the blocks as long as the dusts. And I kind of need the blocks, the coal blocks, for the reactor, which is the next thing we're going to work on. And I also have the niter and apatite being dealt with by the pulverizer, because it gives more than the enriching. So yeah, I'm going to use a pulverizer for this one. Now there is a little bit of an issue here, and you know how I can see all my ores right now? Well, apparently if I put the storage bus here, and I put this guy here, and I connect it, boom, they're gone. I'm no longer able to see any of my ores. I think I have a limit of 18 channels. I don't really know why. why I only have 18 channels. And I think that's all, like they're all being used, like 8 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1, like they're all, and I have some air, whatever that means. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna be able to fix it. Of course I can just remove this, of course, and then this guy will now notice the ores again. Yep, there they are. So this guy should start importing them anytime soon, I think. But yeah, that's kind of a little bit of an issue, which is gonna make me think I should switch to refined storage. And so yeah, the last 5 minutes of the video were, well, muted for some reason, but now everything seems to be working fine. So I'll just recap what I said in the video. Basically, I was going on like how I changed this setup over here, and we're now using 2 of these gas burning generators, and I'm actually collecting oxygen from this electrolytic separator, and I'm getting the hydrogen from this guy. This is basically allowing me to have a few less cables going around, because as you guys can probably see, I have a little bit of lag. Like, I don't know, there's a little bit of stuttering around my base. I don't really know what it is. I'm still trying to pinpoint what it is, and even switch to some ender tanks so I don't have so many pipes going from the boilers to here, or the evaporation stations to here. And we now have this thing nearly automated. We were having some issues here with importing gunpowder and exporting gunpowder, but I fixed that, and this is a little bonus. You guys were not able to see this in the other video. We are now on our little setup over here. We have the refined storage. This guy has 1 million storage, but it's still not being used. I'm only using like external storages, so I have access to all these drawers, and I'm pulling in and pulling out and putting some things. So all of these things that you're seeing right here, yeah, I'm gonna switch them up for the refined storage, because I believe this guy is not doing what I want. Because if I have too many export and import buses, some of them just stop appearing here. I don't have this issue here with the refined storage, so I will be switching to refined storage. And if you guys have any clue what's causing this like lag, because it's not even FPS lag, it's just some frames look like they disappear, you know, and I don't really understand why that's happening. It doesn't happen in the overworld, just here in the mining dimension. I wonder if it has anything to do with that. And I will turn this guy on for the last part of this video. And so, with a lot of glass, let's turn this bad boy on. Okay, that took an enormous amount of glass. yeah. I'm still gonna decorate it because it looks pretty basic as it is. And even if you look from here, for example, it looks pretty basic. So I'm still gonna have to decorate it a little bit. I'm either toying with the idea of filling this with water and make like a tank on the inside, or just move stuff like the reactor from power over here, make some machines over here in this area that I can see from everywhere. But I'm actually enjoying the idea of actually putting this completely with water, bring some fishes and stuff. So yeah, let me know down below what you guys think of the video. And of course, thank you to the people that told me that the last 5 minutes were muted. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. And bye.